Well, hello, hello. This is Rose RCG Creations. How are you doing? We're bringing to you a dessert. We're going to a little mini family gathering, and I was asked to bring dessert. So I'm going to get my little blender. We're going to be making a strawberry Jell-O whipped cream pretzel dessert. I actually got this at a friend of mine. I go to play bunco once a month with a bunch of ladies, and one of the ladies brought this, and it's like, because I'm on my weight program, I go just take a little bitty sliver. I took just a little tiny one. It was so good. And since we're starting to do more gluten-free for our joints, I figured, if I'm going to cheat, I'm going to cheat sort of good. Not totally, because there is sugar in it. But she went ahead and emailed me the recipe. Let me see. Okay, let me get the recipe. Let me get my phone up because I have it in my phone. Okay, it's called a Pittsburgh strawberry pretzel salad dessert. But I don't know why they call it salad. She said the same thing. I go, why do they call it salad? It's not a salad. So she just calls it a strawberry pretzel dessert. That's what she calls it. So that's what I'm going to call it. So anyway, it asks for 6.5 ounces of pretzel sticks or 2 cups crushed, 3/4 cup butter that's melted in my microwave right now, 1/4 cup of sugar. Okay, I'm going to preheat the oven to 400 degrees, and I'm just going to tell you really quickly because it's really quick and easy. And of course, in the description box, the full description and the ingredients will be in there also. You just combine the pretzels and the sugar in a food processor. You pulse for 15 times. You also crush by placing in a Ziploc bag and use a rolling pin. Oh, it's another way you can crush it if you don't have a blender. Then you're going to pour the melted butter in, and you're going to pulse it for 10 times. Then you're going to transfer all this to a 13x9 glass casserole dish that has been sprayed with some kind of a non-stick spray. And then you use the bottom of the measuring spoon, and you press all the crumbs all the way down to the bottom of the dish. Then you're going to bake it for 10 minutes. Then the middle layer is 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese, which is softened, and that's out there. It's been out there for a couple hours softening. 1 8-ounce container of Cool Whip, and then 1 cup of sugar. I don't do Cool Whip. I make my own Cool Whip out of a powder packs. So we'll be doing that. And then you're going to use a mixer. And I will be using my, what is that called? Oh, my KitchenAid mixer. I'll be doing that. Okay, and then basically when you mix it, the cream and the sugar, and then it's all blended, then you're going to fold in the Cool Whip. Fold means you just barely lay it. You don't want to mix it or anything like that. You want to fold it in, so you want to mix it, but don't over mix it, and don't use a lot of pressure. Then you're going to lay that over the crust, the baked crust of the pretzels, okay? And then you're going to cook your strawberry, you're going to bake your strawberry Jell-O just like the package recommends, and it asks for 1 large package of Jell-O or 2 small packages and 2 cups of boiling water. And if you want to, you can add some frozen, thawed out or fresh strawberries that stick inside the Jell-O. Okay, if you want to, then you pour it all together, you cover it with the plastic wrap, put it in the fridge for several hours, or if you could do it the night before, that's even better, because what I hear, that if it sits, the longer that it sits, the better it sets. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to get that rolling. I just plugged in my Ninja. I don't have a food processor, but this is the closest thing that I have. And it's like I say, make do with what you got. Got myself a bowl. I'm going to just pour some in there and crush, and then we'll see how we get to the 2 cups. Okay, let me get some scissors. I can't open those. And I haven't even bothered turning my oven on because I'm going to get all my stuff together first, and then I'm going to bake it. So this should go pretty quickly. At least it sounds like it's going to go pretty quickly. So these are, we had to go to Sprouts. That's what we had to do because I couldn't find it at 3 different grocery stores, gluten-free pretzels. So I just want to let you know, let you see the brand. And let's see. On the ingredients is it's 110 calories. This container contains about 13 servings, which is about 32 pretzels. So 110 calories for 32 pretzels. 2 grams of fat, 0 saturated fat, 0 trans fat, 0.5 of polyunsaturated fat, then monounsaturated fat is 1.5 grams, cholesterol 0, sodium 640, total carbs 21, and dietary fiber 0 grams, total sugars 1 gram. So it's not that great, but it's not that bad either. It's better than regular pretzels. But of course, if you're not into regular pretzels, I'm going to go ahead and do these. And it's going to be a little bit noisy. Okay. And then if I have anything extra, I'm just going to put the extra in a mason jar, vacuum packet, and I'll label it. So I'm sure I'm going to make this again because this is really some good stuff. Okay, it's getting there. Okay, I definitely like the crush method better. And we have a Ninja Professional 1500 watt blender here is what we're using. And then there you go. You don't need to have it into a powder because it's nice to be able to crunch into the crust a little bit. That's what she says. She's made this for years. And I think that's a pretty good texture. You see that? Let me get into the light. You see the little crumbles? So they're nice and bite size. Did you get a crunch of the pretzel? So I'll bring you back when we get totally done with the bag, then we'll go to the next phase. Okay, we're back. That was a noisy job. Hubby's still sleeping. It's Saturday morning. And I need the container back because I gotta put the excess in here, but they're all basically the same size. There's a couple of you are going to get extra grounded, but that's okay. It's good to go. Now I'm just mixing it all up. It did take 2 batches. Okay. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, so it asks for 2 cups. Okay, so that's 1. But at least now I know of this size bag how many of these desserts I can make. And I think I'll make this dessert at our next church function. It was so good. It really tasted very, very well. Okay. Don't forget, clean table, clean tools. You're good to go. And I'm eating my bagel for breakfast. It's still hot though. Okay, so now we need 1/4 cup of sugar. Oops. I just dropped my little separator. Okay, 1/4 cup of sugar. It's almost time to refill my sugar bowl. There's a clump. Okay, close enough to 1/4 for me. You don't have to be precise. It's sugar. Who doesn't mind a little extra sugar? Move my mess over here out of the way. Okay, combine the pretzel, the sugars, and the food processor. Oh, and the food processor. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh well. I'm just going to mix it up. Let's combine the pretzel, the sugar, the food processor, and pulse 15 times. You can also crush by putting in a Ziploc baggie. Then we pour in the melted butter. Oh, there's a piece of sugar that was pumped into a round ball. Okay, I think that's pretty darn good. Now we put the butter. Oh. Gotta pause you because butter's not ready yet. Not melted. Okay, we are back. I want to give you a pretty little tip. Get these little silicone items when you get something out of the microwave. Like this is the glass bowl, ceramic bowl. You're able to just pour it and you don't have a spill. And you don't have burned fingers. And I like it because they sit, see how they rest right on top of each other? Then they just sit right next to my microwave out of the way, so they're always there instead of having to go and reach for a pot holder or a towel. Okay, so now we're going to mix this all up. It does say pour in the butter and then pulse, but I'm not going to do that. Because I do want the little crunchy, thicker size, bite-sized pieces of the pretzel. I'm just mixing this all up. Remember it all the way around, go down to the deep center. Okay, now I can put this in my, I think this is a 13 by 9. Close enough anyway. I have another one that is a little bit bigger, and it's a lot deeper. I'm just going to smooth it out to an even layer. And another quick tip I forgot to tell you, when you spray, I spray my dishes in a clean sink. And then I spray it, and then I get my little clean wet towel, then I wipe all the way around. Because when you bake this on the glass, and when this is glass or ceramic, whatever it is that you're using, the oil, the spray oil, it bakes. So it sits in here, and that makes more of a cleanup mess that you have to make. Because I hate having little splatters and stuff, so I always wipe it all the way around. All the way around. That's just a quick little tidbit on less cleanup, which is always nice. So the less cleanup you have, the sooner your chores are done. We all have chores, some kind, somehow. It's things that we want to do, things that we like to do, things that have to get done no matter what. And see how it's just spreading out because of the cooking spray, and then the fact that it's got the butter in there. So I was able to make one full layer. Oop, there's an open spot. You want to cover up any open spots because there's where the cream cheese and the Cool Whip are going to go through. Okay. Let me get I would use my fingers, but I don't want to because I'm eating my bagel for my breakfast. I'm just taking all the little extra goodiness off of there. Now this is going to go in the oven, and then I'm going to go ahead and get my Cool Whip put together and mix it, and I'll bring you back when we get to that phase. So this is going to go into the oven for 10 minutes. Okay, we're back. We're going to be making the Dream Whip, which is similar to Cool Whip, but it's in a powder form, so it's very shelf stable. 2 packets come in there. 1 packet equals 2 cups. So we're going to double this recipe for the this cream cheese and whatever you call this mix. What do they call it? Grab my phone. Oh, they just call it middle layer. Okay. Okay, so the packaging on here says whip, beat, 1 envelope of Dream Whip. Put that back down. Relock it. Could be a little noisy, sorry. Okay, so you do your 1 packet of Dream Whip. Oh, I forgot my vanilla. 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Let me go grab my vanilla. Sorry guys, I thought I had everything together, but I didn't. Let me get a measuring spoon. I have it right here on the table. Okay, so we're going to do the middle layer. Oh, I'm just doing the Dream Whip. So it asks for 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. So 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Oh, you know what? Beat, whip topping, mixed milk and vanilla in a large bowl. Okay, so mix it all together. Okay. Oops. I've doubled this. Actually, no, I didn't double this. I only doubled the cream cheese because this is 1 packet that makes 2 cups. Because this recipe says it's for 1 cup of 8-ounce container of Cool Whip. But because this package makes 2 cups, I just spilt. And I put that in there. Let me wipe that down because I don't want to mess in my pantry. The homemade vanilla smells so good. Bear with me, I'm sweating. The top bottom coating got out of the oven. It was the 10 minutes and it's sitting on a cooling rack now, cooling down. Okay, so we're going to add our Cool Whip. Oh, I messed this up. It's only 1/2 cup of cold milk. Because I'm thinking I'm doubling it, but I'm not doubling this part. I'm doubling that part. Because it's 1 package is 1 cup. Okay, so I only need 1/2 cup of cold milk, not 2 cups. So let me go get my 1/2 cup measure. Okay. Let me get my mind back together again. 1 packet makes 1 packet. You use 1/2 cup of cold milk, and I just got this out of the fridge. So 1/2 cup, and now 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, which I just poured in. And I'll just put this back in the fridge, and it'll be, ooh, I just spilt. It wouldn't be Rosa bacon if I didn't spill. Now I made a big mess. Oh, and I took away my little clean towel. So we'll just use my extra towel and clean up my milk mess. And this is a little brown because this is my pressure canned milk that I pressure canned. And if you like, I'll put a link to that description video because I'm almost positive I did make a video on it. I may be wrong. I've made so many videos nowadays I forget what I've done and haven't done. Okay, so now we're going to whip it. Beat on high for 4 minutes. So because this is so noisy, I'll bring you back when we jump to that next stage on it, okay? Okay, we're done. It took about 4.5 minutes, but look at those little peaks. I'm going to bring you closer. See that? Pretty darn good. And what's really good about it is it's still shelf stable. So do yourself a favor, get you some boxes of this. They may not have this particular brand in your part of the area, but I'm sure if you Googled it, oops, that's way too far for me. Sorry about the moving there. Okay, so cool. This whipped topping is now totally made and totally finished. So now we're going to add, in a mixer, mix the cream cheese and the sugar until sugar is blended. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm not going to put this in here. And here I have my sugar. And so I have 1 cup of regular granulated sugar and then 1 cup of a Previa, which is a low-cal sugar. Okay, so now I'm going to add my cream cheese. I could have done this while this thing was mixing, but I was eating my bagel. The other cream cheese. Let me wipe my hands, it's all messy. Okay, so it says you can do it in a mixer, you can do it by hand, so it's softened, so I think I'm good. Now, I do freeze my cream cheese because I buy it in bulk. And so when you freeze it, the texture is off a little bit. The taste is still there. Nothing happens to the taste, but the texture is off a little bit. So be careful. You don't want to freeze all your cream cheese if you're needing a really smooth texture on whatever it is that you're making. Cream cheese, sugar. Okay, mix this up. I got myself my little spatula because I knew I'd be needing it. And it doesn't say that it has to be really smooth, so I don't know. Because it just says in a mixer by hand, mix the cream cheese and the sugar until the sugar is blended. So I know my cream cheese is soft because it's been out for like 3 hours. I took it out of the freezer last night, stuck it in the fridge, and then I woke up, put it on the counter so it was softened, got my shower, got ready, did my hair. But when I'm baking and cooking, because I sweat so easily, I have to put my hair up. Because I can't handle hair in my face because it just brings the heat, leaves the heat inside me there. I got to release that heat. Okay, well, it looks like it's pretty much mixed up pretty darn good. Oh, I see some in the center there. Remember, scrape from the center and all the sides. So you make sure everything is very well mixed up and incorporated. And then I'm going to do a little taste test. Once I know it's all incorporated. But you can't be bad. It's cream cheese and sugar. I can't mess that up too much. The only thing is you want to make sure that it's really mixed up. I should have just done all this in the mixer, but I don't want to mess that up. I should have just scraped that out and put that in here. I could have done that, but oh well. It is what it is. But I think it's pretty darn mixed up because I don't see pieces of sugar. You'll be able to see. No, you can't do it in the camera, in the video, but you'll be able to see where the sugar is mixed up. There's no loose pieces of sugar is basically what I'm saying. So let's take a taste test. Like I told you, pretty darn good. Okay, next cream the sugar. Then we fold in the Cool Whip, and then we're going to spread it over our crust. So, I forget, how do I release this thing? That's for this one. That's for this one. You know what, I'm just going to scrape it. I don't want to get my bowl dirty. My kitchen-made mixer dirty is what I meant, not the bowl. Okay, let's drop this in. And I have to figure out, I don't use this very often, so I'm not too familiar on how to put everything together and release it. Oh, I think I remember now. You just twist it and turn it. That's what you do. I remember now. There's a little knob in there that locks it in place. Okay, so that's close enough for me. We're good to know. Good to go. So let's move this out of the way. And like it said, you want to fold in your topping. I'm going to put it all in here. Look at that. See that? Look at those peaks. Woohoo! That is a nice whipped topping. And we'll do a little taste test. Not overly sweet, but with the sugar and the cream cheese, and then a little bit of sugar in the pretzel with the brownie, with the butter, no, it's going to be very good. And then don't forget we're putting Jell-O on top, and there's sugar in Jell-O. So you can definitely, it's got some sweetness to it. It's not overly sweet like Cool Whip is. Another reason why I don't care for too much Cool Whip, because to me it's a little overly too sweet. Let me leave that there so I can get ready to clean. Now we're going to fold, and this is what they mean when they say fold. I'm just getting all my extra stuff off of there so I don't have a big mess. I'm just scraping my cream cheese sugar mixture off of this thing. And then you're just going to basically come with your spatula and then fold it in till it all mixes. You don't want to beat it or anything. I'm making sure you can see me. Yeah, you can see me. So you want to mix it. This is the one time it does help to work with a spatula. Okay, so you're mixing it and you're folding in the whipped topping in with the cream cheese mixture. I should have got a bigger bowl, but we're okay. Remember, work with what you've got. Make sure you go to the bottom center and fold it in. See, basically I'm pushing over and I'm folding it in, grabbing some from the middle and I'm folding it in. And that's what they call folding in your topping. Okay, so now it's all mixed up. You just want to make sure it's all mixed up. Now let's go get let me clean up my mess. Let's go get our bottom layer and put it inside. Then we're going to put it in the fridge to chill. Isn't that pretty? Okay, spread over the crust. My crust is still a little warm, but that's okay because it's not hot. Oops, let me get my spoon. This is definitely something that I use. Wish I had one of those, you know, those big old wide wooden, it's like a spatula, but it's a wide one. This is the one time you wish you had one of those. I don't like my regular spatulas are great, but they're flimsy. So this project wouldn't work very well for them. You know what, I'm going to do this. Let's move this over here. And let's just dump it in. Let's see how that works. Okay, definitely a lot better with the spoon. And this will set and get hard as the longer it sits in the fridge. That's why they recommend several hours. You keep it refrigerated. And then now I'll get my spatula and scrape the bowl. Every part of my top of my bowl is messy. Someday I won't be such a messy cook. Baker, cook, whatever. Okay. Now let's scrape this part down. Because you want to use all that goodiness. Hubby's still asleep, so I say, you want to lick the bowl? He probably would say yes, because it's sugar, cream cheese, and sugar. Can't go bad with that. I know some people I've seen on videos, they would leave clumps and clumps of food in here, and it's like, not me. I'm frugal. I want every last bit. And I worked hard for this. I didn't work overly hard, no. But that could be like 2 bites right there. Not really, but you never know. Okay, so that one's done. Now let's just scrape this off of here. And scrape all that off. And I'll be able to give that to one of the grandkids. Say, you want to lick the bowl and the spoon? No, of course, the kiddos always say, yay! Then you just want to smooth this evenly. You want an even layer. You don't want to go too high up because don't forget we're putting Jell-O on top of this. Turn this around. And another reason why this cream cheese is not overly sweet with the whipped topping is because don't forget I used some Previa, which is that low-cal sweetener. So yes, we're cheating, but we're not cheating really overly bad, like we could have if we had used all the regular stuff, which is the regular just table granulated sugar and regular pretzels, not gluten-free pretzels. The Jell-O, that's going to be regular plain old Jell-O. Okay, so I think we're done. Let me scrape this last part. Put it on a corner here. Just smooth that out just a little bit, just to make it a little bit even. No one's really going to see because the Jell-O is going to go on top. And wipe my hands. And then if you have any messes, get yourself your clean towel. Wipe around. Because you don't want to present a messy one if you can help it. Okay, so now we're going to go do the Jell-O, and I'll bring you back when the Jell-O is done, because pretty much everybody knows how to do Jell-O. You just get the package, boiling water, mix it up, then you pour it on top of your ingredient, and then it sets. So we'll bring you back when we come to that phase. This is going to go ahead and go in the fridge, because I got to still boil my water. So we'll bring you back. Okay, the Jell-O thing has set. And it's cold. See the bottom of the crust and the Jell-O. Now, I will tell you this. Number one, make the crust a good hour before you start anything else. let it air dry. Okay, cool down. Okay, because this crust was a little warm, not hot, but it was a little warm. So when I put the middle mixture, which is the cream cheese and the sugar, in there, it kind of melted just a little bit. Okay, and then I waited for that. I set in the fridge for about 20-30 minutes. Then I made my Jell-O, and I let my Jell-O in the fridge sit till it got a little firm before I poured it in. Okay, and I was busy back and forth, so I apologize for not taking a video of that one. But then I poured it in and I set it. But when I did that, the Jell-O was still a little bit on the liquidy side, so I went inside the cream cheese and I made a little bit of a mess. But you know what? I'm gonna take a little taste test, because you know we gotta do a taste test. And as long as it tastes good, yes, presentation does make a difference. But there's the crust. It's got some Jell-O because it was melted a little bit. So some of the Jell-O did sink down into it. Let me hide that a little bit. I don't want my friends to know that I dipped into it. But I'm going to tell them I had to do a video. Okay, so that is my take on a pretzel strawberry Jell-O dessert, which is very, very yummy. Thank you so very much for watching, but one more time, quick little tip. Make the bottom crust a good hour and a half before you do anything else. Let it totally come cool. Then do your middle second layer, which is the cream cheese and sugar. Put it on top of the totally cooled crust. Then wait until the Jell-O is pretty darn cool and almost set, but not totally set, before you pour it on top of the layer. And I'm going to be honest with you, I used that little red bowl that I had before, because I had that little pour spout, so I poured it in there because I wanted to use the pour spout. But the Jell-O mix was way too warm, even though I had stuck it in the fridge for like 20 minutes. And it was still very, very liquidy and stuff, so it didn't. Because my friend's, hers was totally solid Jell-O, no cream. I mean, you had 3 different individual layers, and her bottom did not loosen up and have the Jell-O, the cream cheese and the Jell-O go underneath it like it did on mine here. See that? You can hardly see the crust. But hers, you can definitely see 3 separate little layers on hers. So again, this is something I'm learning, and I'm going to put this on my notes and I will be making this again, but I will definitely be doing the steps that I just recommended for the tips, and you'll have a lot prettier looking Jell-O dessert, but even though it's going to taste good. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.